Hi Dollar Divas, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought this would be a fun idea, and I've done a couple of videos like this in the past, but since Dollar Tree and Dollar Tree makeup and bargain makeup in general is ever evolving, I'm able to do these videos like at least once a year, it seems, anymore. So I'm gonna be sharing 10 super bougie budget bargain makeup items. These things here all happen to come from Dollar Tree and have come out kind of in the last year or so. And it just goes to show you don't even have to spend the big bucks anymore at Sephora to get some of the fancier items. There was a time where to get something a little bit fancier, a little bit special, you had to spend a certain amount of money at Sephora. And now Dollar Tree is really bringing it, as well as other makeup brands like Shop Miss A and stuff like that. But they're really bringing some of the kind of fancier products and really gives us very little reason to have to spend more money these days. So especially if you're not aware of what the bargain price point can buy you in the world of makeup today, this will be especially interesting for you. So of course, if you're a returning Dollar Diva, thank you so much for coming back for another video. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Jessica and I'm basically a bargain beauty channel. What I mean by that is I like to do a lot of the same fun content that other beauty channels do. I just like to keep it at the bargain price point. So the closer to $1, the better. If it sounds like you're in the right place, I do hope you'll become part of our Dollar Diva family here on YouTube. And as always, I will have similar content down below in the description box. If I can find the couple of videos I have done like this in the past, I'll have those down below as well. So yes, I'm so excited to share these really, really bougie, super budget friendly items with you. So without any further chit chat, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So there was a time when really the only thing you could get for your brows, well, really, there was a time where you used a brown eye pencil, like a brown eyeliner, to do your brows. And then, like, I don't know, what was it, 2016, like, brows became the thing. So you had brands like Anastasia Beverly Hills and Benefit that really went crazy with brow products. And it took Dollar Tree a little longer, but Dollar Tree finally did as well. So it used to be you just could find the LA Colors brow pencil, very, very basic. And then you had brands like Ioni coming out with their brow pencils. Then Ioni came out with a retractable eyebrow pencil, which I think I talked about in a previous video like this. Now, we have all kinds of things, y'all. Ioni gave us one of the very first brow gels, both clear and brown. Of course, their color selection, they don't have as much color selection as like a Benefit or something like that, but it's still a step in the right direction. And then LA Colors kind of did the whole Benefit thing last year. They came out with a brow wax, a brow soap. They came out with a little brow kit, and they came out with these little skinny brow pencils, which, as you know, is something that was really kind of more of a bougier item, just these little skinny retractable brow pencils. So it's no longer just the basics as far as brows go. As well as Ioni gave us some of these other little gems, such as different types of brow pens. These both came out this year in 2 different collections. This here was from the Daydreamin' collection. This is their brow definer, their ultra fine brush. Again, just super fancy in that dollar price point, $1.25 price point. And then of course, it used to be you had to spend a bunch of money for a bougie product like this. This came out in their Lunar Zodiac line. This is their brow pen, but it's got like the little teeth on it. So you get those little hair-like strokes. So the bargain price point finally caught up to what some of the higher end brands are doing. Again, like I said, the shade selection isn't gonna be as good if you need like a kind of a special shade. You might not find it at the Dollar Tree, but like I said, it is a step in the right direction in giving us some things that feel a little bit fancier if we're on a budget. And then these are supposed to be a dupe for a Milk makeup product. And again, it's another time in which Dollar Tree got fancy with their brands. Of course, you know, we've always had powdered blushes, and then at some point we got liquid blushes. Well, Be Pure came out with these tints right here. They're like a jelly product. Again, they're supposed to be a dupe for Milk. This is for your lips or your cheeks, and it's like a jelly stick. They do have 2 shades. This is like coral. They also have like a pink one. And it's just this very, very sheer wash of color. And like I said, it comes in a jelly form. Again, super fancy. Definitely something that if you didn't shop at Dollar Tree or even give a second thought to their makeup, that you would think that they would sell a product like this. Again, it used to be something that you had to go really fancy and spend way more money on. And then of course we got liquid shadows, and LA Colors had been making them and selling them for a good long while, but they got really good what was it, early last year, the year before? I think it was early last year. They came out with their Too Cheeky line, and those liquid shadows, I think, totally gave Stila a run for their money. And then they've been bringing them out ever since. And then, of course, now Ione is on that bandwagon. Also, La Mercerie as well has come out with a liquid shadow. Not as good as Ione or LA Colors, and I still think LA Colors really hit the nail on the head with their latest formula. But Ione does a really good job. And then at Halloween, they really, I think, took it up another notch, because some people are like packaging people. Some people buy expensive stuff because they love the experience, the packaging, all that kind of thing. But like, listen, there's stuff in the bargain price point, either from Shop Miss A or from Dollar Tree brands, where their packaging is really, really very nice, especially for the money. So Ione came out with a Halloween collection. They had a couple of liquid shadows in there. And this is one, but y'all, look at the packaging, how fun that is. Like, if you're like a Halloween person or you love really cool packaging, this right here delivers. It looks like something like Kat Von D would have come up with in her makeup line. They have another shade that I haven't picked up, but it's like a teal type of shade. And then look at that, that's just beautiful. And yeah, the packaging is super, super fun. Like, you are not missing out on anything with that packaging. So it's just an effort for these brands to kind of make things more fun and more appealing, and just make you feel like, you know, you're buying something special, even if you are only spending $1.25. And then another thing that got really kind of popular, of course, both at the drugstore and the higher end price points, are lip oils. And LA Colors has been making lip oil for, they were probably the first, but you know, it wasn't fancy. It didn't really seem fancy. But I feel like Ione kind of made it where it looked a little bit more high end with their packaging. And honestly, I really like their formula a lot better too. You get that big doe foot, so it just seems like something a little bit more substantial. And LA Colors are flavored as well, but the Ione one's just, I don't know, this one's Sweet Honey. And they're just really, really, really nice. And of course, Be Pure has been coming out with lip oils that are supposed to be dupes for, so look at how decadent that looks. It feels really decadent on the lips as well. But yeah, Be Pure has been coming out with lip oils that are dupes for like e.l.f. and other brands and stuff like that. So once that trend kind of became a thing in the higher end world, of course you have drugstore that follows suit. Then you've got like brands like Ione and Be Pure that are not that far behind. So like I said, LA Colors kind of did it first, but I do feel Ione made it a little bit bougier. And of course, you know, lip plumpers, we've already covered those because that used to be a specialty product. I remember first time I ever even seen or heard of a lip plumper, I was working at a tanning salon, and they had the lip venom, you know, and it burned really bad. It was like, I think I paid probably almost $20 for it or something like that. Then of course you've got your lip injection from Too Faced and all that kind of thing. You know, now you can get plumping glosses at Dollar Tree. And from what I understand with the Too Faced lip injection, the ones from Dollar Tree work every bit as good, if any of them work at all, you know what I mean? And then of course, lashes have been something that have really come up and have gotten really, really great at Dollar Tree. Like viral, like excellent. Like Ione came out with their lashes, of course, which you know how that story went. And then LA Colors really stepped up their lashes, and there's some of my favorites. Now La Mercerie's got some that are great. So the lashes at the Dollar Tree got great. Then they got bougie. So Ione, of course, went and brought us half lashes. All different types of styles. This is just one. And for me, a half lash is really about all I need because I've got kind of small eyes. Of course, now I've seen LA Colors have them at Five Below. Not yet at Dollar Tree, but like I said, I mean, there is no need to literally go anywhere else for your lashes at the Dollar Tree. And now they've got these little halflings, which if you've got bigger eyes, they just kind of accentuate the cat look. If you have smaller eyes, there's something you won't have to trim. But yeah, that is definitely super, super bougie. But yeah, Ione even helped further elevate the lash game at the bargain price point. And then LA Colors was, I think, one of the first to come out with a liquid bronzer. And then, and brands like Be Pure and Ione really didn't have any bronzers to speak of, like powdered bronzers or anything like that. But when they did it very well. You know, of course, Be Pure has been giving us the dupes. So we get the Rare Beauty bronzer dupe, and we've got the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer dupes. We get a couple shades of each. But yeah, like I said, it was about time that Be Pure gave us a liquid bronzer. Like I said, LA Colors would come out with one every now and again in a spring collection. And then most recently, y'all, and you guys know I'm excited about this, Ione finally decided to join the bronzer game. They really haven't given us a powder one, but they just jumped right in with liquid. I would imagine they'll probably give us a stick at some point, maybe a powder as well, but they did a really good job with theirs. So now you can find these liquid bronzers, which cream products, as we know with highlighters and blushes, are all the rage. You know, both the liquids, the sticks, the, you know, creams that come in like a compact, jellies, all that kind of thing. It's all the rage now. And yeah, you can get liquid bronzers now at the Dollar Tree. Like I said, LA Colors would come out with one here and there, but now you've got a little bit more selection, and we've got other brands really starting to follow suit a little bit more, I feel. Then the two last things, most recently, these really are, again, once again, just when you think it can't elevate anymore, it does. So like I said, we've been getting liquid shadows. Liquid shadows are a solid now at the bargain price point. But what LA Colors did, and I credit them fully, is they gave us a liquid eyeshadow topper. Y'all, this is something you put over any eyeshadow that you have if you want to make it a little extra special, and you're going to get that gorgeous iridescent look. And again, this was something that I've always been a little bit sheepish about buying, like spending a lot of money on makeup. I have made splurges and stuff like that, but it usually had to be the right thing. And something like this would have been something that if I wanted it bad enough, I would have spent $28 or $32 at Sephora to get, because I wouldn't have been able to have found it at the drugstore. Certainly not the Dollar Tree. So it's just always so exciting when you no longer have to spend that money to get something special. And this here is a recent one of LA Colors. And I did a Dollar Tree wish list, like items that I wish Dollar Tree would carry. And one of them was like multi-chromes and duochrome eyeshadows. And Ione gave us those shadows from last year that were just beautiful. They were like definitely shifty and gorgeous. And now I feel like LA Colors is following suit. So I'm still super excited to see what they give us there in the future, either one of those brands. So last but certainly not least, and like I said, this is one of the more recent things as well, LA Colors came out with these sculpting duos. This one here is a highlighter duo, and this one here is a contour duo. There are two different shades of the contour, and then there's three different shades of the highlighting. So basically these are dupes for Patrick Ta, which like retails for like $40. So the contour one, I just recently tested this on my channel, both of these. I'll have both of those videos listed down below. So this is a cream contour, then this is a powder contour. Like I said, they have two color stories. This is just one. Then the highlighter, I had to kind of learn what this was all about. You get the cream highlighter, which doesn't really have a glitter or a sparkle in it. It just gives kind of like a dewy look. And then you have your traditional powder highlighter here. So I guess you can use them both together or separately. Like this one here is gonna be a little bit better if you don't wanna have like any real like shimmer or glitter. And then this one here if you want more of a traditional highlight. But this is super bougie. Of course, LA Colors has been giving us bronzers and highlighters for years now. But these duos here that are like the cream products, and you get two of them in a little kit, ultra bougie. Like, I mean, seriously, probably the bougiest item to date, I would say, hands down. So definitely comment down below and let me know what you think the bougiest bargain makeup item you've seen is. What was one thing that really surprised you? What was one thing that you're really excited to see come to the bargain price point? You know I love talking to you all. For me, that was probably the shifty shadows that Ione came out with, as well as really good liquid shadows, the ones that LA Colors gave us in the Too Cheeky line and then here in kind of after, and the eyeshadow topper. Those are some of my like more favorite bougier items because I know that's where I would spend money if I wanted something special. So definitely share your thoughts. You know I love talking to you all. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, show me you did by hitting the like button. And of course, if you can hype this video, you know I appreciate it so much, and it really has been helping my channel, I believe. So thank you so much for everybody for your continued support. It means the world to me. I will have related content down below. Definitely go check out some of my other videos, especially if you're new here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.